Coming up on today's show, we are breaking down the 9 players that are set to make official visits to Tuscaloosa this weekend. The Crimson Tide have done a pretty decent job during these official visit weekends, but they have only gotten one commitment since these official visits have been going on. So I want you guys to help me out. If you want a player to commit this weekend to Alabama, make sure you drop a like on today's video. We've been doing this every single weekend, and Alabama's only gotten one commitment since then. I personally think it's because we don't get enough likes on these videos. So help me out. Help out the Crimson Tide, and make sure you drop a like on today's show. All right, the first guy we're going to break down today is the only 5-star that's going to be on campus in Tuscaloosa this weekend. That is Brandon Arrington. He is the number 10 player overall in the 247 Sports Composite rankings. He is also the number 1 athlete in this class, 6'2", 180 pounds. Alabama mainly recruiting him at that cornerback position. And what an insane cornerback class this would be if Alabama also added Brandon Arrington in here. Number 1 player out of the state of California as well. Got to remember, Alabama's defensive back room is full of California boys, so that definitely is not going to hurt anything with Brandon Arrington if he were to indeed commit to Alabama. This is also the second time that he has been on campus to Tuscaloosa. Coach Mo also visited him in California during the springtime for a in-home visit as well. I don't know if I actually said this yet or not, but July 5th is when he does plan on making his commitment there. These are some of the front runners for Brandon Arrington here. He's already completed official visits to Penn State, Washington, Oregon. Now on tap, he's got Alabama this weekend. I went ahead and kept USC in there because I'm not actually sure if he's going to be visiting USC or not. Everything that I've seen here recently does not actually have USC included in any articles or any top schools or anything like that. But on most of his profiles, 247 on 3 and everything, they still have that USC date in there. So I went ahead and kept it in there. Not sure if he's going to make that visit or not, but it really does seem like teams like Texas A&M, Oregon, Alabama are kind of in the lead, top 3 there for Brandon Arrington as well. But I will note as well, when he was on that official visit to Washington, you can go back, scroll through his Twitter page. He was really excited during that visit with Washington, even tweeted out that, they're not a nobody in his recruitment right now. So not necessarily thinking it's going to be Washington because talking about Oregon, you're talking about Alabama, you're talking about maybe Texas A&M. Honestly, I think Oregon and Alabama are probably the 2 best programs here. Maybe also you could throw Penn State in there as well. But, this is going to be a really tough battle. I don't, foresee necessarily, if I'm making a prediction, I don't necessarily think Alabama's going to end up getting him, but you never know. They've done, really good job rolling out the red carpet for these guys. So let me know down at the pinned comment of today's video, what is the % chance you guys think Alabama can land Brandon Arrington, the 5-star cornerback in this class? Let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. All right, a new guy that we haven't really touched on really at all here on the channel, Jaden Terry. He is actually the little brother of Texas, now freshman 5-star defensive lineman Justice Terry that Alabama had pursued in that 2025 recruiting class. He is a 4-star, a little bit lower ranked, but he is the number 30 corner in this class as well. I got him in that Georgia Tech shirt in the photo there because he is right now committed to Georgia Tech. He does not actually have an offer yet from Alabama, but he has camped on campus before, so the coaching staff kind of has seen him in person there, has taken visits to Duke, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, also has a visit to Kentucky coming up on June 20th as well. So we'll see what happens there. Things could change this weekend, but Jaden Terry, another corner that Alabama could be considering in this class, he's going to be on campus for an official visit this weekend as well. Let's go over 2 more linebackers to talk about here. Nick Abrams is a guy that, Alabama's really been pursuing hard. He's got a commitment date set up for July 16th. 6'2", 215 pounds. Chuck Morrell has actually visited him in home during the springtime as well. He's also taken visits to Georgia, Michigan. Also has another official visit set up to Oregon on June 20th. He's definitely a guy that Alabama would like at that middle linebacker spot. And then Karon Maycock as well is another guy. Florida State commit, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Alabama is in the race for some other linebackers here, so don't necessarily know. He is a little bit lower rated, but, it is what it is. We'll see what happens there with him. But he does, like I said, he is committed to Florida State, but he did tweet out today after making that announcement that he was going to be on campus in Tuscaloosa this weekend, that he's actually going to make his final commitment decision on July 7th. So we'll see what happens there with Karon Maycock as well. Going back to Nick Abrams here, the top 4 schools for him: Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, and Oregon. You see 2 of those official visits have already been completed. Has 2 more left here on the docket, so we'll definitely keep an eye on him and see what happens here in the near future. All right, defensive line has really been a major sticking point for Alabama coaching staff and Alabama fans as a whole, and Elijah Golden is one of these guys that Alabama really, really would love to have in their class. He is a 4-star, top 200 player in this class. It's kind of funny, top 200 player, but the number 24 defensive lineman. Really, to me, all that says is, hey, there's a lot of really good defensive linemen in this 2026 recruiting cycle. 6 foot, 3.5, 260 pounds. So I think he's a guy that could just naturally play bandit at where he's at right now weight-wise, or maybe you could put on a little bit of weight on him too. That shouldn't be a very hard thing to do once you get into this strength and conditioning program. Maybe kick him inside to the interior as well. But this is a guy who, this is going to be his 3rd visit on campus just this year. Took a couple visits during the springtime. Freddie Roach also visited him at home in Florida twice during the springtime as well. He's got a really strong relationship with Freddie Roach. Does also have an official visit set up to Notre Dame coming up on June 20th. Already took visits to Oklahoma and Virginia Tech as well. So going to be really big to get Elijah Golden back on campus here. We'll see if Alabama can really capitalize on that, because as we know, they've already got 2 defensive line / edge commitments in this class already. So, I would assume they're going to take probably either 2 or 3 more guys in that defensive line room. And Elijah Golden is definitely a guy that they want in this class. So go ahead and help me out. We are trying to beat our June 2024 like number that we got last year. It is a record here on the channel of 7,179 likes in the month of June. Currently, right now, we are just under 3,000 likes. I want to make some headway on that like number. I think we can definitely do it. And the more likes we get on this video, like I said, the bigger opportunity that Alabama has to land a commit. It is just math. It is just statistics. It is science. Don't argue with me. Make sure you like today's video for me right now. All right, the next player that's going to be on campus this weekend is Roman Voss, 4-star tight end. 207 overall. He's listed as an athlete because at the end of the day, he is an athlete, but Alabama wants to use him as a tight end. Number 1 player in the state of Minnesota. Alabama and in-state school Minnesota are the top 2 schools for him right now. He had an official visit with Minnesota on May 30th. That seemed like it went pretty well as well. This is going to be his 2nd time on campus. He was on campus during the springtime as well. And, I said this on yesterday's video, a very interesting note on him. Ryan Grubb and his dad actually worked together about 20 years ago before Ryan Grubb actually got into coaching. He was working construction at that point before he got back into coaching. So, there is a little bit of a relationship there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That does help as well. Decision date for him could come late June as well, so he's going to take this official visit, think about it a little bit, and then probably make his official decision as well. But, man, when you watch this kid, when you watch his huddle highlights, his high school actually, his highlight tape is almost nothing but Wildcat quarterback, so that's kind of why he is listed as an athlete, but man, he's just busting touchdowns left and right last year in his junior season. I'm sure this year in his senior season, he's going to do a phenomenal job as well. Looking kind of broader picture here at this tight end room, man, Alabama is really going after a lot of really, really good players in this class at that tight end spot. Don't necessarily know how many guys they're going to take, but man, if you could get 2 out of the 4 of these players, man, you're sitting in a really, really good spot here. And if you only get 1, I don't think you can really go wrong with any of these players that Alabama is going after at that tight end spot. So I want you guys to get down inside the comment section for me and let me know. Pick a tight end. Who is your favorite tight end out of these 4 players that maybe you've seen some of their huddle highlights or seen all the buzz them at camps this summer and stuff like that? Let me know. If you like Max Sutter, type MS. If you like Roman Voss, type RV. If you like the 5-star Caden Prothro, who was on campus last weekend, type KP. Or Xavier Tiller, go ahead and type XT in the comment section of today's video. All right, 2 more offensive linemen that we haven't talked about at all here on the channel. Wilson Zierer, I believe is how you pronounce his name, and Marky Walbridge. Not Mark Wahlberg, Marky Walbridge. Just been kind of giggling about that all day when I was scripting and making this, this video here. Let's start off with Wilson. He is actually a German native. He's from Germany as well. Came over. I believe I even read his brother played for Auburn at one point, so you see him there in that Auburn shirt, has taken visits to both Auburn and Georgia. Those 2 teams seem like the leader for him. Obviously, Alabama is going after some other, offensive linemen in this class, and they're probably only going to take 1 more. The one name that you really probably want is Malachi Lee in this class, but these are 2 more guys here as well that, are going to be on campus this weekend. So, it's not something that, you just totally want to gloss over. There is still always a chance that one of these guys could commit to Alabama. You never really know. Marky Walbridge, he is from Massachusetts. He's taken trips to Penn State and Wisconsin as well. He's got another one set up to Michigan. 247 Sports says they think he's going to stay up north. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Alabama blows him away. He ends up changing his mind there. But 2 more offensive linemen that are going to be on campus this weekend, definitely something to take note of. All right, Javian Mallory, the number 21 running back in this class, is the last player we're going to talk about on today's video. He is right now committed to Miami, but he did tell On3 that a visit to Alabama is just something that he was not going to pass up. Number 311 in this class overall, 6'1", 205. Alabama's looking at multiple running backs in this class, and they want to take multiple running backs. You might get somebody like E.J. Crowell. You might get somebody like Javian Mallory also to flip from Miami. So maybe you get somebody or, a Derek Cooper. One of those guys, I don't think you're going to end up getting E.J. Crowell and Derek Cooper, but you might get one of those 2 players. It's kind of about the money as well in terms of NIL. If you're going to get a really highly ranked 4-star in E.J. Crowell or a 5-star in Derek Cooper, you're definitely throwing a bag at that guy. Whoever you get as well in this class, probably going to have to be somebody that's going to take a little bit less here. Also, Ryan Estrada is another guy that Alabama's been looking at as well. Robert Gillespie has actually visited him twice just during the springtime. Courtney Morgan has as well. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, they've been pursuing him pretty regularly. He does have an official visit set up to Miami next weekend. So we'll keep you guys updated. And if Alabama gets a commitment this weekend, we will put a video out for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed.